Hey guys, it's Randy with Lowbuck LS here again. Just wanted to shoot a quick video to give an update on the Lowbuck Shop Truck. Doing a bunch of work on it lately. I didn't film most of it because most of it's like basic mechanical work, so I'll just go over. I kind of got a table with some of the parts and pieces I changed out. But the main culprit causing most of my issues and all the lights on the dash was this body control module. So I'll go over that as well, and we'll do a future video with a little more detail on that. So let me flip the camera around and show you what all we changed out on the Lowbuck Shop Truck. So here's some of the, I did the sway bar links, power steering pump, a bunch of the idler pulleys and bearings on the serpentine belt, that body control module which I mentioned. It caused the sunroof not to work, the oil life indicator wasn't reading, and the tire pressure monitors weren't working. And this is actually, you can see it's got a number written on it. The previous owner had put this in the truck and it's got the wrong VIN and it's the wrong part number. It doesn't have the right options and stuff for this truck, so that's why the sunroof and stuff didn't work. So in a future video, we're gonna try and flash this BCM and get it to work for my truck. But for now, I put the original one back in and had to do a bit of programming to get it to work. But it's working, and now the sunroof and oil pressure or oil life monitor and stuff are all working as well. And then this is where it gets interesting. The guy, this is what happens when guys get a little too sloppy with their DIY mechanics. If you remember, that truck had a bunch of like the ABS light and the what do they call it, the StabiliTrak light was on. And the reason for all that was the guy had changed out on the driver's side front wheel. He put in a hub assembly that has no spot for an ABS speed sensor. So it was missing one of the ABS speed sensors, so that's what was causing the ABS light and the StabiliTrak light to come on. But on top of that, the brake rotors, you can see he put on the wrong rotor on the right front. If you look at, I'll just put them up level here, but the brake rotor that was on the right front is a good inch smaller than the one that was on the left front. So it was the wrong size rotor, wrong hub and wheel bearing assembly. And then you can see the brake pads here, because the caliper was still the right size, but the brake pads, because the rotor was smaller, the brake pads have this big step in them, because they were riding halfway off the rotor like that. So put in the proper wheel hub with ABS speed sensor and put in new rotors and pads. And then we also did upper control arm, because this ball joint is completely trashed. And then we use that VCX Nano from VX Diag. So I'm going to do a separate video on the unboxing of this and installing the software and stuff, and go over how to test out the check for DTC codes and do the SPS programming to program your modules. And I also used it when I put the original BCM back in. The radio came on as locked because it had already been paired to this BCM, so I used the VCX Nano with SPS service from AC Delco to reprogram the radio and unlock it. And then yeah, we'll do a future video on see if we can program this BCM to work with the truck. The other thing I did was get a set of rims and tires, because before it had like steel rims and they were all mismatched. So I'll hop inside now, and so pretty much everything works the way it should now. Fire it up. Sunroof works. And Heater all works the way it should. Radio works. The only light that's left flashing is that TPMS and service tire monitor system, and I think that's because when I got these new rims and wheels, they had been sitting for probably 5 years. So the guy I bought them from said they do have TPMS sensors in there, but I think just because they've been sitting so long, the batteries in them TPMS sensors probably went dead. So I think I'm going to have to go to the tire shop and get some new TPMS sensors, and I hope that'll take care of the last warning lights there. Other than that low fuel light, which I will solve by putting more gas in the tank. So that's where we're at with the Lowbuck Shop Truck. I did have some issues if you guys saw my post in the Lowbuck LS Facebook group. I was fighting all weekend with those body control modules, but what had happened was when I was under the dash plugging and unplugging modules there, I must have pulled out a connector, and so I ended up last night trying to get the sunroof working. I swapped BCMs and ended up with a truck that wouldn't start. So, and then I put the original BCM back in and it wouldn't start again. So I ended up fighting with that for probably the better part of a day. Well, all yesterday afternoon and all this morning, but yeah, I finally found a connector that I had pulled apart a little bit, so we got that fixed. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. This was just a quick little update on how we're doing with that Lowbuck Shop Truck. Future plans for it, I'd kind of like to do a cam swap, put my favorite Summit 8701 cam in there, same as I have in my other truck, and the comp valve springs, and maybe do an exhaust and stuff on it, maybe even put nitrous on it. But such a heavy truck, it's a 4x4, it probably weighs 6,000 or 6,500 pounds, so I kind of don't want to mess with it too much because I want it to be a reliable daily driver. So but we're pretty close to where we want to be with that truck, so we'll get back to working on the OG Lowbuck truck. The racetracks and stuff up here in Alberta still aren't open. It's kind of weird because things are starting to open up after this COVID-19 business. Golf courses and stuff are open. You can have 4 guys standing on a golf green, no problem, but you can't have 1 guy sitting in a race car on a drag strip with no spectators or anything. So, but I am anticipating, you know, in the next few weeks or month or whatever, that the racetracks will get right here. Sun's coming up from behind a cloud, but so we will start working on the OG Lowbuck truck again. Still want to put that 2-step in and a switch panel and get it ready for the track and see if we can hit our goal of running 1150s in that thing. And then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe put a lowering kit and do some body work on that thing. And also on the shop truck here, I want to replace the rust over the fender wells, the rear wheel arches there where it typically rusts. Trying to turn, so it's pretty bright. Anyways, we'll wrap this one up. Just wanted to give you a quick update on that. And yeah, we'll have some videos soon on using that VCX Nano, how to install the software, how to check for codes, and using the Tech2Win software and also the SBS software to flash your different modules with the software from GM. So that's all for this one. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now.